Last time on Lawful Stupid.
Ultimate final technique. Copper Covenue.
I had forgotten about that.
I had
actually
one waking moment.
I had forgotten, but now I'm happy that I remember again.
I remember the chibi version being way more acceptable to me.
We'll get there.
That's what I remember now.
So we went down into the belly of the beast again, this time with reinforcements. The evil witch with a scythe turned our dear friend Ike into a monstrosity, and also Axel. Yep, Axel was there. And Axel, he had to fight us with us, and bad stuff happened. It was a bad fight.
Yeah, it was. It was interesting.
If correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Alaria was being sucked into this door, this portal, and so that's kind of where he froze at as well.
Don't you worry, baby bird. I'll repaint that picture. Don't you worry. I'll get you back. We learned that the boys are super scary in traditional D&D combat, and I need to make stronger NPCs.
Hell yeah! I mean, I think we just found our flow with each other. That's all it was. It was good.
That's true. We also found that Kristoff used the golden iris.
Yeah, I used the channel
to make this sweet copper ring shackle tomb move, which was awesome.
Appropriate name.
Yes.
The Copper Covenue.
Give it like that every time.
Yes.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, I'm just gonna isolate that out and just have that as a soundbite like all the time.
Every time you say it. Yeah, and then he used his
exactly.
Press his button. Copper Covenue.
That's right. It'll be just like the transitioning music. I just edit over myself. It's great. If you guys are ready, we're gonna get right back into it.
Please,
I'm ready.
Where we left off and where we resume is Axel is laying on the ground, not in great shape. Ike had just stepped off the bridge to fall into the abyss. Vendel is waking from the slumber he dealt with from the scary elf. Rowan is standing in the portal's archway, and Atlas, who is standing near the portal, he can actually, when he's turned around looking, he can see Alaria being pulled into the portal. Like, almost like just bits and pieces of her are being pulled and smudged away into this door. And Kristoff, our most powerful boy, is currently knocked out. What would you boys like to do?
Oh, I gotta rush up and get that key out of his pocket.
Okay. Yeah, you reach out, you run over to Atlas, or to Kristoff, and you search him for said key. I don't remember where you put it. Wasn't it like in the
next to my
vest pocket? Yeah.
I think that there's not a whole lot of options now.
No.
That's true.
This is like a quick pat
Not
down.
a lot that can be done.
Yeah.
Yeah. You find the key. It's, pretty obvious. And you pull it free.
I close that door. Attempts to close the door.
Sure. I mean, these are big doors, right? So it's
big
really
man.
for you. It's going to be one at a time.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah, you grab the key, you run to a door, you start pushing the door shut.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the sword, which is Alaria, and I'm gonna throw it away from me. Not so far that it would fall into a crevice, but throw it away.
Sure. You just take the sword and you chuck it forward towards the bridge, right? Like,
yes.
It's not a trap.
Yeah.
I'm just making sure I understand. Like,
And then I will also help close the door.
Perfect. So you pull your sword free, and as you do, you see Alaria kind of stretch really thin, and you throw it. And Ilaria becomes like this line of light as you throw this sword, and you watch as you're not really sure what you just did was a great idea for this brief moment as you watch it just expand and expand and expand and get real thin until she's just pulled away from the portal, bound by the curse of the blade.
Like the return function on a Pokeball?
Yes, exactly.
She's a ghost type.
And then you run and get to the other door, and you begin to shut it. And so Rowan and Atlas push these two doors shut. And Rowan, you're like pushing yours shut, and you started before Atlas, but yet Atlas finishes first.
As usual.
And so he has to come and help you finish the door. Finish shutting the door?
Yeah.
So you guys shut the door.
Alright, I'll fucking lock it.
Alright, so you put this strange key into the lock and turn it, right?
Right.
Okay, cool. You do that. You take the key out, you want to leave it in.
Oh, I take the key back out?
Okay. So you take the key out, and as you're doing that, Findle kind of looks at you guys. He shakes his head and he says, "Okay, that was not great. All right. Oh, you locked the door. Great. Now, let's destroy it."
I'll run back over.
Good,
and
we
grab
can do
Ilaria
that.
At this point, go pick her back up.
All right, you go pick up
Can I
Ilaria.
healing word Kristoff with that? Is that okay, or is this not like a physical wound?
I mean, you can do whatever you want,
I'm a
man.
healing word Kristoff. Try and wake my boy up.
All right, go ahead. Cast healing word on Kristoff.
Cast healing word on Kristoff.
Yeah.
You want to roll me some HP?
You also roll for healing. Yeah, you want to give him some HP, or?
I was mostly just seeing if they would wake him up.
Well, I mean, let's roll that dice.
It'd be 7
die.
health.
Oh. You begin to stir, Kristoff, but you have a massive hangover-esque
He's used to
headache.
I
I don't know. Our boy hasn't drank in a while.
am. I don't remember who I am.
Oh no!
Oh wait, I'm Kristoff.
There he is.
You're good?
I'm in a lot of pain.
You're alive, though.
That's true. Against my better judgment.
It's all that matters. Findle, door. What do we do?
It's quite easy. We destroy it. But I'm going to need two of you to act as magical pivots, so to speak. And he points 45 degrees to his right, and whatever the opposite of 45 degrees to his left would be, kind of like diagonal in front of him, to make like a cone shape, essentially. And he says, "I need one of you here and one of you here."
Oh, I've done this before. On it, boss. First, who else? Who's doing this?
Oh, well, not me. I'm nobody's pivot.
I will do it.
Okay, Atlas, hold my loot and my gun, just in case.
Said every redneck ever.
Watch
Oh
this.
my god, my loot.
Yep. His loot.
It's D&D
Yeah.
redneck.
All right. That's right. So you guys take position in this cone, and you hear Fendel say, "This should be this should be quick." And he puts his hands together, and you watch these tendrils of the arcane torrent swirl around his arms, and slowly they form to his hands, which are two palms flat together, almost as if he were to be praying. And when the energy forms between his two palms, he raises his arms up and points each palm to each boy, and like a blast of arcane torrent hits you guys, and it feels amazing. It's like pure, unfiltered arcane torrent flowing through you. And all at once, Findle like slams his open palm against the ground, and that pure feeling of bliss is ripped away, and you feel cold, as like your magical essence is just suddenly tapped. And then you see these lines stretch out from you and Findle, and they roll up to the door, and you watch as these cracks form in the door, and they begin to splinter and crack. And Findle roars out, "Time to give it everything you've got. Atlas, we're going to need you to hit that door."
Oh, I can do that. So I'm just gonna get a running start with Ilaria and just cross slash as I get to the door.
Yeah, do me a favor, roll me an attack.
22.
That's a good attack. Do damage as well.
That's a 9 for 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 damage.
Oof. So you run over with Ilaria and leap high into the air, and when you bring that cross slash down, at first, when your sword connects, it feels like stone and metal, and as you're bringing your brute force through your swing, you feel it kind of turn into this like jello-y soft substance, and you're able to open up a huge like slash. And at that moment, the door just like explodes, and you're all like blasted backwards 10, 15 feet. And when you open your eyes, there's no door. There's a solid wall, a solid stone wall. And the only thing you have left of the door is the key, and you can see some like rubble where it once was. And you hear Findle say, That went better than I thought it was going to go.
What did you think was going to happen?
Well, I knew it was going to explode, but I was kind of worried it was going to be bigger and more dangerous. But hey,
not for us, not for this, boys.
Yeah, something tells me that's not the last we're going to see of them. And he turns around and kind of looks back at this fray that's still going on behind you guys. And you hear Findle go, "Oh yes, this is still happening. Guess we should take care of these boys."
Yeah.
Findle, are you okay?
Alice.
Yes, and he looks down and you see that gauntlet that he was wearing, that dragon that wrapped around his arm. The tail that originally was up on his shoulder is now on his lower forearm. It's like retracted in closer to the gauntlet. I don't have a whole lot of time of lucidity left, which is what I'm struggling against.
Is there anything we can do to help? We've got to go kill the rest of these things, but
that would be better. It took a lot of energy to crack the door.
Alright, we're on it, boys. What kind of shape you in?
I'm right as rain.
I'm fine.
I will take my gun and my loot and let's fucking get it.
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
Lawria's ready to go.
And you three boys charge into the fray.
Yes.
Yeah.
Before you do this, point of order, the Hammer of Dariden?
Yeah.
Who
I have
has
it
that?
still.
Okay. Alright. So you guys rush into combat, and Fendel stays behind to patch up Axel.
Oh yeah.
Oops.
Yep. So we're gonna do some of the like cinematic combat to breeze through this. We're not gonna do a giant. Yeah, thanks for listening to the last episode. It was all combat. Now back to another round.
More combat.
Yep. Yeah. So when you guys cross this bridge, you see two types of Tor ahead of you. The Tor that fought their way in with you, and then the Tor that has been mutated by this corrosive spell. And like as you're reaching or getting closer, it almost looks like it's been an even fight until you get much closer and you realize that some of the Tor that were like killed have been reanimated, kind of. So when they would strike one, they would bring one here and there back up. And so you're looking at the Tor outnumbered almost 2-1 as you approach this battle. How do you want to start, boys?
We have to fight our way out. This is not the place to be.
So we're not trying to help, we're just trying to leave.
I mean, we get as many survivors as we can, but then we gotta go.
Alright.
Tor, hear me! Make a hole! Fight back to the city of Oxbane!
And the battle itself is going on pretty. It's a loud fight, but one of them looks back, and he sees the three adventurers that they escorted in, and he sees Fendel kind of like shouldering Axel, helping him limp along, and you hear him roar out, "Make a hold! They're coming through!" And this wave of inspiration rolls over these Tor who were almost beaten back into this corner as they see that when their friends would go down, they would come back up to fight them. This ferocity rolls over them, and they just push this line backwards. And you guys are given a good open pathway to move through. I mean, it's still somewhat dangerous because you're running through a battlefield, but they, like, this clustered war zone has now been carved open to give you guys a path to run through.
I mean, I'm taking it. Bye. Bye. I want you to come with me, but if not, bye then.
So everybody goes through the path.
Well, I want to go back and help Fendel carry Axel through. Because he's weak, so
Awesome.
I'm going to go help.
So you run back and you get Axel, and for you it's nothing to kind of like pick Axel up and just kind of force him along. So he's more hopping along to keep up with you as you're more carrying him than he is actually walking. And that allows Fendel to run and stay behind you. And when Fendel breaks through the pathway that has been opened for you guys, he turns around and raises up his right fist, and you see like these three pulses go over his body, and from his right arm just a large amount of arcane bolts start pouring out of his arm, almost Gatling gun style, just one after the other, and you start seeing these things take hits. And for the ones that aren't completely vaporized or a giant hole put through them, they're knocked back, and and these 2-to-1 numbers are suddenly closer to even, and you hear Findle shout, "Time to run, boys!" And he turns around and he sprints with you guys, and following him is a fraction of the Tor people that managed to break away from the fight. And one of the things you guys notice as you look back is, Piper is up on his shoulder again. And so you guys book it out of the tunnel, right? Unless there's something else you guys want to do? Okay, cool. Let me just roll up there.
Oh no.
I think that's fine. What is everybody's passive perceptions?
Not worth mentioning.
I thought I knew them, but
It's like a 12. Oh,
they're
13.
probably been looking up.
That's a 14.
Okay, cool. Ooh, higher than I thought. Scary. I'm glad I asked. Yeah, you guys run through this big open section where the battle was kind of going on, and then make it into the tunnels, and go up through the tunnels and out the entrance
Be
into.
mindful to not trip over any copper wire traps. Don't wait.
Yeah. So when you go up these stairs, you notice those traps are gone.
Okay.
So you go up through the staircase and you're out, and you hear the sound of battle. Though the raging battle that was going on when you went in that almost filled your ears, it's more muffled at this point. And you guys run up on the portal team that you guys left here.
Does this work both ways?
And one of the one of the architects that's helping stabilize the portal looks at you and she says, "Of course."
Fantastic. I'll run through it.
All right, you go through.
Ditto.
Okay. Atlas?
Same thing.
Okay. So you three run straight through the portal, and on the other side, you land almost near the tree line of No Man's Land, between Oxbane and that tree line. And you also land in the center of the architects that were holding this side of the portal down. And you can see there's a few Tor remaining to protect them, but mostly the fight has been pushed back into Oxbane. That there's not much fighting outside of Oxbane left. You guys see a lot of bodies from both sides.
Where's Frost?
And Frost walks over to you and says, "Where's Findle?"
He was right behind us.
And almost comedically as you say that, you hear a large explosion come from Oxbane and Findle leaping through the portal. And when he leaps through the portal, you hear him say, "Friendly fire!"
Oh no.
And he goes, and he's like smacking fire off of his robes. "That was not ideal. Oh, Frost, get a good rest out here, did you?" And you see Frost go, "I was afraid of this."
Yes, he seems to have used up all of his sanity points.
I'm not sure he had them to begin with.
But we did it! We did it, Frost! We closed the door, we locked it, and then we made it go bye-bye forever!
Ah, that's excellent. That's wonderful news. You guys did it. I'm more than a little surprised, to be honest. But you did it. And you destroyed the key, right?
Yeah, I was in the door.
Right.
It is
Yes.
super destroyed.
Is gone.
Okay. Alright, well good. With the door gone and the key gone, we don't have anything to worry about. Do me a favor and roll a deception check, please. Whoever wants to be the spokesperson for the key.
Gotcha.
Who's holding the key, actually?
Rowan.
Yeah. I
Oh,
still
Rowan.
have
Okay.
it.
I couldn't remember.
That is a 26.
Oh, shit. I don't think he's gonna be close. It is an insight check.
I'm confused. I thought we did destroy the key.
No.
Oh,
No, you just destroyed the gate.
so why are we not lying?
Oh, yeah, I thought we did
I
also.
thought we did also.
Oh, I thought it was destroyed, and I thought you were playing us, and so I was making sure that we knew that the key was also destroyed while it was in the door.
No. Apology. 1,000 pardons. No, we didn't. It's right.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm not trying to lie to Frost about
Yeah.
this. This is important.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Frost says, weird thing to be confused on. And he reaches out to take it from you. And as he's doing that, hold on. As he's doing that, you see his hand starting to glow with arcane energy. Now you can do whatever you wanted to do.
I'm just gonna pull that back.
And he says, yeah, I'm going to destroy it.
What is?
You don't want it around.
I mean, the
Let's
case.
get some bad juju to it.
Atlas.
It has brought us nothing but grief and pain. Honestly, I do not want it around. But, I'm not familiar with the magics and arcanes, and so...
Findle.
Just tell Frost to chill out. He's always worrying about this. Yeah, you could use the key to open another door.
Yes, please destroy it right now, Frost. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Just everyone's worrying over nothing. And Frost puts his hand on it, and you watch these crackling bolts of arcane energy leap out from his hand, and then Frost as in the element of ice, rolls over the key, and then he crushes it in his hand, and you watch as pieces of it just fall to the ground and burn up in this blue flame. And you hear Finn just worry warts. And Frost says, I'd rather be safe than sorry, Fendel. Anyways, did everyone make it out? How bad is it?
It's not good. You need to sound the retreat.
But I thought we were winning.
I mean, I guess we could continue to press the advantage, but no more reinforcements are coming. We could do this a little bit more strategic and minimize loss of life, I would think. But if it's going good, I can't. I've been inside a hole in the earth. I don't know if it's going great out there.
He looks around, and again, most of the troops are pushing into the city, and you see this moment of panic go across his face, and he says, "Wait, hold on. Where's Ike? Didn't he go with you?"
He didn't make it.
Ike didn't make it.
No, I'll explain later.
Alright, what was your suggestion?
I think we should retreat, and then we can do this a little bit more strategically. We don't have to worry about reinforcements anymore. We've closed the door. The bleeding has been stopped for now. We can address the stragglers as we find appropriate.
I'll take your word for it. You haven't been wrong so far. Wendy, Avia, get the message out. And you see the two of them put their left and right hand together, because Wendy's on the right, Avia's on the left, and they put their closest hands together. And you see this torrent of energy roll from Avia into Wendy, and you see her close her eyes. And a brief second passes, and Wendy says, "Alright, the captains know. They're pulling everyone back. They say that we're winning, but it's not good. They're making a full retreat now." And Frost says, "Great. That's good. Alright. we're gonna need the architects to keep that portal open for as long as the other team, the other side says we need it to be. Can you guys accomplish that? And Avia, who is like panting at this point, says, I can, yes. And she steps back into the center of these architects who were like managing this portal while she had stepped out to help Wendy. And you notice like the portal's like wavering and blinking until she steps back into the center, and this large portal like solidifies. And Wendy like sees you, Kristoff, and like runs over and just embraces you. Like a friend who hasn't seen someone in a long time, just runs up, like no care to anything else, and just hugs you.
Good to see you too, Wendy. I am alive still.
Hey, this is Atlas from Lawful Stupid. Today's community spotlight is on Atlas of Mine, ironically named after the character I play in Lawful Stupid. In the past few months, I found myself enamored by map making and began following lots of people who share that same interest on Instagram. Well, one of those people is Atlas of Mine. They're a maker of bespoke, hand-painted real-world maps of all kinds. They even dip into modern and historical maps. I simply love the creativity that goes into all of the work that this artist does. And they're also taking commissions if maps are your thing. I've seen her put up tube maps, street maps, and world maps, and they're all worth going to check out. So go see this one on IG and Atlas of Mine. The spelling will be in the show notes.
Hey everybody, it's me, your boy Shainsaw, here on behalf of Lawful Stupid to let you know that we've recently partnered with Audible. You've probably heard of Audible. They have content that includes an unmatched selection of audiobooks, original audio shows, news, comedy, and more from the leading audiobook publishers, broadcasters, and entertainers. They're a really great service. I've used them for a really long time. I actually have a pretty massive Audible library, and they're really great. I listen to it all the time because, long commutes, when I'm doing data entry at work. It's just a really great way to fill the time. And since you listen to our podcast, you probably have some similar time on your hands as well. And we only fill an hour of that time each week, so you should fill the rest of it with Audible and get some of the best audiobooks for your listening pleasure. I'm actually going to help you out with that in two ways. First way, I'm going to get you a free month. I'm going to get you a free month of Audible, free 30-day trial, and I'm going to get you a free credit for one audiobook. So that's on Lawful Stupid. That's for you. Additionally, I'm going to help you choose how to use that credit by giving you a recommendation each time we talk about Audible for your listening pleasure. And it's going to be stuff that inspires me, that inspires my characters, inspires my worlds, that really inspires everything that is nerdy and Lawful Stupid in me. This week is going to be Name of the Wind. Now, we've talked about Name of the Wind before. We've referenced it several times. I think it's one of the greatest fantasy novels ever written. It's by Patrick Rothfuss, who, in my humble opinion, has the best word selection in his writing since William Shakespeare. It's just really a joy to read because it's so well written, and the story's fantastic. It probably has the most interesting take on any sort of magic that I've ever read in a fantasy book. We actually love it so much at Lawful Stupid that we're doing a one shot, well, maybe a couple shots, but we're doing a sideshow as a Patreon reward that is a Fate Core System Name of the Wind style. So we really love it. You should go to Audible. You should go to a website. The website you should go to is audibletrial.com/lawful stupid, so you can get that free month and that free credit for an audiobook of your choice. It doesn't have to be Name of the Wind, but it should be. Go there, get the book, listen to it. Let me know what you think, because it's really good. Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon.
I can't believe it. You're such an idiot, but you're alive.
Yes, that is correct.
Man, you definitely need more lessons. That was so foolish.
Oh, did you see the thing I did?
No, I didn't. But I can't believe you went in there.
Oh, it got worse. I did much dumber things once I was there.
Oh no, that's concerning. And Fendel leans over, like, your shoulder, and goes, "It was great. It was golden, even. He's so good at his job."
Oh, I kept my eyes on the prize.
And she looks at the two of you, and she says, "Oh, you didn't get like him, did you?"
No, I'm not quite. Not yet.
It's fine.
And you hear Fendel say, "Yeah, oh no, he's acting nothing like Atlas. He's fine." Yeah, Fendel. Yeah. Okay. Axel's... What happened?
Oh, he's just bad. Just bad at what he does, frankly.
Yeah.
And you hear Axel say, I needed my hammer.
You had your hammer.
Hey.
You did a bad job.
No. Why do you have my hammer?
It chose me as its rightful master.
That's... That seems wrong, little one.
Axel, it's fine. If you're nothing without the hammer, you're nothing with the hammer.
Wise words. I think you need to search for yourself for a while, learn your own true inner strength, and then when the time comes, the hammer will be here with my large friend, Atlas.
I'll take it with one hand.
I mean, it's still heavy.
I'll put on a
Yeah, but
show
he's
right
making
now.
a
I'll
really good
roll
show
for it if
of it,
I need to.
Yeah, go ahead, roll for it.
Yes.
Roll a strength check.
Can I give an advantage with performance?
No.
Bardic inspiration?
No.
It's a natural 17. Strength is another 6, 23.
Yeah,
3,
so
20.
you bring this hammer over, and Atlas, every fiber of your being is on fire. But nobody else would know. It looks like you're just pulling this bad boy in with no issue at all. On the inside, you are mentally screaming. And you can hear Ilaria saying, "Just use another hand, Atlas."
You told me to be strong.
You told me to be strong.
All parts of the podcast will now be played by Alex Corey, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right, I love it. And Axel stands more confidently and says, "I appreciate what you've done, Atlas, and Kristoff, and Rowan, but that's my hammer. I'll be having it back."
I'll fight you for it.
I'm sorry, dear friend, but
That's
we have someone who's looking for this.
not
and
how
it's just- It's not in the right hands with you. We've had an artifact for a long time. We seem to have a good grasp on these things, and we have to take this one too. I'm sorry.
That's not really how this works. That's my hammer. It's mine. And you see him steaming up, and he says, "I wouldn't take that sword off your back. How dishonorable to take someone else's weapon."
You could try.
Well, hold on. To be fair, we could have just let you die and take it. But that would
And you hear Fendel
right.
say, "To be fair, that's kind of what you did."
You're one of us, okay, Fendel?
You're part of the team.
You're part of this
Findle.
team. Remember that
Do you hear
friendship
that,
picture?
boy? I'm a part of the... Yes.
Pull
And he
it out.
pulls this piece of paper out, and it's crumpled up, but he's got it. Of course.
Carries it with him. It's beautiful.
And he rolls it back up and puts it back in his robe, and you can see he's not very careful with it, but he's got it on his person.
Still
And he says, "Yeah, of course." And he says, "I don't know. I feel like it's if someone took your loot when you passed out. Seems uncool."
It would be pretty uncool.
And
then
people have definitely tried, but we stopped them.
Yeah. Well,
We stopped
we
them.
stopped them, yes.
And Frost walks over and says, listen, I don't mean to get involved in whatever this squabble is, but Kristoff, you can't be involved in taking someone else's weapon, especially when they helped you.
I think we're using the word help very loosely.
I think that he's only alive because I picked up this hammer, but I tell you what, Axel, listen to me speak to you in a persuasive nature. When I tell you, you don't want this hammer. This hammer nearly got you killed, and if it weren't for us, you would have died with that hammer clutched in your white-knuckle fists, and I would love to persuade you.
Sure, go ahead.
21.
And he looks back at you and he says, maybe you're right. Maybe that hammer is bad news. Maybe that hammer has me going down the wrong path. But it's my path. If the gods will it, it will be done. That is my hammer.
I'll throw it at his chest, like not hard, just like enough where if he catches it, it would knock him back to show him how strong he's not.
Yeah, go ahead. Roll a strength attack.
Roll ranged attack.
Yeah, ranged attack. Yeah.
15 plus, that's 18.
Yeah. Oh no, it hits him, knocks him over for sure. He falls backwards, and like as he like stumbles to pick it up, I mean he's wielding that hammer the same way you were. Like it looks effortless. It looks like it's light for him, and he puts it back on his back, and he says, I appreciate everything you did back there. Despite whatever this was.
Do you have a question? Where'd you get this?
It was given to me by the gods.
Yeah, but like where were you when it happened?
I was... He says, I was in the woods, calling the bugbear population, as it were, and I was approached by a god, and the god told me, where the hammer was, where it was hidden away.
Was it in a cave?
And he looks at you, and he says, maybe.
Was that there?
No, but there were 2 empty pedestals next to the hammer.
Yeah, we know the place. Call it the cave choice.
But we called it cave.
We call it the cave choice. That's what I meant specifically we.
Yeah, because we made a choice there.
And he looks around and he says, didn't seem like much of a choice for me.
Yeah.
Do you know which god?
Single, probably, right? I don't know.
Does sound like a Sindori thing to do.
Sindorian kind of task.
I go find this thing.
And he looks at you guys and says,
Populations.
of course it was Sinlor. I mean, to be honest, it wasn't Sinlor per se, but it was one of his... And you see his like dwarf brain start struggling with the word.
Absolutes.
And he looks at Kristoff and says, that's the word I'm looking for.
Was it an absolute named Darrington? Is Darrington an absolute symbol?
And he looks at the hammer, like back over the hammer, and looks at you and says, it wasn't Darrington. Darrington is said to be dead. This is this hammer is supposed to be his tribute to the world. He didn't give me his name, but he looked like Sinlor. He
looks like a Sinlor and walks like a Sinlor and quacks like a Sinlor.
And when you say that, Kristoff, he says, yes. He was one of the horsemen.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. I'm done with you. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Have fun storming the castle.
I mean,
okay.
Anybody else got any questions for fucking Dick Cheese McDick over here? Or?
He's not smart. It's not his fault.
No, it's get out of here.
Thank you, Axel, for answering our questions.
And Frost kind of looks at this, and you look over, and Bindle's just like reading. Like, he's just reading a book. He checked out somewhere in the middle of that when Frost started talking.
Just like our listenership.
Yep. Confirmed. And Wendy looks over to boys and says, so Ike?
Yeah.
So Ike?
Long may he rest.
What happened?
Do you want the truth or do you want the nice thing?
And she like narrows her eyebrows at you when you say that. And she says, I want the truth, Rowan.
The truth is, he fought like a fucking monster. And at the end, it was just too much for him to handle on his own.
She like sees you guys exchanging looks when you say that. And she says, I feel like there's more to this story.
There was an evil elf witch woman. She had this strange scythe with two blades. She could blast necrotic energies through it that would turn a mortal man into a monster. She did that to Ike. He became a monster. He fought against us. Towards the end, once we were able to dispatch the evil elf woman with my particular abilities of the arcade torrent. Yes, thank you very much. We were then able to, he was able to gain lucidity, however, he was still transformed into a monster. He looked down at what he had become. It was too much of a burden for his soul to bear, so he took a step off the edge of the abyss.
Yeah, just what I said, but with more detail.
Wow. And Frost kind of looks at you guys and says, that's really messed up.
It was super dark.
And as you guys are like having this conversation, you can see troops pouring out of the Oxbane walls and gates and like the holes and gashes in the city walls. And Frost says, we should continue this conversation back at the cave.
I agree.
With what's left. And you watch as a few more people go through the portal, and the architects around the portal disband, and Avia kind of drops to a knee, and she is like, you can see she is sweating so much that her hair is soaking wet.
I approach her and I put my hand on her shoulder to lay on hands.
And when you do this, this warm feeling of light that you would normally expect to reach forth doesn't come.
I kind of look at my hand, I shake it, back. nothing happens.
And you do this like almost like mental prayer that you do, not to any specific god, but it's kind of like your mantra that you, when you originally learned to do this, you go through the basics again, and still nothing comes.
And I kind of recoil and then offer my arm to help steady her to grab onto me.
And she looks up, and you remember her eyes being blue, and they're almost gray when she looks at you. And she takes your hand and kind of steps up, and you can tell that she's like uneasy on her feet. And she says, "What took so long?"
We had to fight the strongest man in the world, and also an evil witch.
That sounds like one hell of a story.
It's my story.
I'll have him tell you it later.
And she says, and she like turns back to the castle walls, and she says, "I've got to make sure everyone gets out."
You've done enough.
And you see Frost step forward and say, "He's right. You've arguably done more than anyone here. At least those of us who didn't have to go face to face with the gate. It's okay to rest." And she like looks at him really uneasy, like she's still not on the Frost bandwagon, and says, "Okay, fine. But if the captain and first mate don't make it back, I'm coming for you." And you see Frost suddenly get panicked and go, "Whoa, that's not our responsibility. They could already be dead." And she looks back at him and says, "Coming for you."
I'm sure they're fine. I'm sure that. I mean, they're resourceful.
And you hear Frost kind of, yeah, resourceful. Kristoff, why don't you get her back to the cave?
Yes.
Yes.
And she goes with you guys willingly. And so, unless you guys want to do anything else at this battle as people are retreating?
I just kind of want to.
Yeah.
I might, while we're walking, I might say, so, what's gonna happen to Oxbane now? I mean, we shut the doors, and even if we get the monsters cleared, I don't think it'll ever be the same.
It won't ever be the same. It simply can't be. It will be scarred by this forever. But people are resourceful, they're hardy, they're strong. We'll get the monsters out and they'll rebuild what they can in time.
A broken bone heals stronger. It can be better.
It's a common misconception. It's actually much more brittle, isn't it?
I didn't know you were a medic.
I spent some time reading and studying physically.
Just ignore that and do what I said.
But it's copper wire. Once banded,
3 times as strong.
is 3 times as strong. That's great.
I say,
It's really like copper wire.
I want them all dead. Every one of them.
The monsters, I assume.
Of course.
Okay. Yes, well,
Yeah, I'm on board with that.
in the weeks to come, there will be plenty of time.
And I will be the one that I will be helping lead that front.
I'm trusting no one else.
Yeah, dope.
And with that, Atlas, when you say that, you almost feel this like yank at the back of your neck, and you kind of watch as like you're almost disembodied for a moment, and you see your physical form walking forward with your two companions, and the world kind of like drains around you, like the color, the trees, the people around you become liquid and just pour out into this drain. And then you're standing in this icy woods, the same woods you have been accustomed to seeing from Ilaria's past. And she's leaning against this tree, and she's like shaking, like she's terrified. What do you do?
You have to get out of here. You're freezing.
And she says, I'm not cold, Atlas. Can't you see it? And she like points across from her.
I look.
Okay.
I'm just like waiting for the sword to.
And you look over, and there's this like giant wolf, like 10 feet tall on all fours, wolf. And its fur is made of metal blades from top to bottom, and where its eyes are, they're this deep dark red, and there's these tendrils of smoke pouring from where the eyes would be. And as it moves its head around and it slowly walks towards you, you can see this trail in the air from its eyes, and it's chewing on something. But what it's chewing on is this dark liquid form almost. And it takes one big bite and throws it against a nearby tree. And you hear like this soft scream in the back of your mind as it does that. And it approaches the two of you and it says, I've got a job for you.
Okay.
You're going to do my bidding.
And who might you be?
I'm glad you asked, Atlas. And this big metal-covered wolf looks at you and says, I am Etis, the god of vengeance. And I could feel you call out to me.
I've never heard of you.
That's to be expected. But you want revenge, Atlas.
I do.
And Ilaria like puts her hand on your arm and says, I don't like the look of
I'm gonna
this.
pull my arm away from her and say, this isn't about you, Ilaria.
And the wolf like bares these metal teeth and says, it's always about something. And this time, it's not about you, little girl. What is it you seek, Atlas?
I want to be accepted. I want to know why my parents left me on the road all those years ago. I want to know why I wasn't good enough in battle school, why I had to be treated differently, why this color of my skin has represented who I am my entire life and not by the accolades that I have myself. Why my friends think I'm a coward. Why I'm not able to save those I love, like y'all. Why for all these years I've never been able to fill this hole, this void that's been in my life. And I'm tired of being the weak one. I'm tired of not being able to fight for what I love. And those times are over. And it starts with those demons.
And the wolf kind of chuckles when you say those demons. And he says, I can show you the way, Atlas. I can set you down the path to take care of those fiends.
What do I do?
But I ask something of you. It's small, I promise. I need you to lift that curse on that blade of yours. And Delaria says, she like stands up. That's what we're trying to do.
But,
And that's all I ask for, girl.
But Laria, we don't know what's going to happen once the curse is lifted. I mean, I guess we've never really talked about if you come back or if you're just, gone after that.
And she looks at you and says, I know. And that's not fair. I don't want to be gone. But I don't want this either, Atlas. I'm of two worlds. And I know you know what that feels like. But I can't keep doing this to you. And if lifting the curse frees you, even if I'm gone, at least I know you'll be okay. And Edith says, everything will be fine. As things can be.
That is not a small ask. Laurie, I don't know that I can do that.
I thought this was what we were working towards. Getting me out of this sword. Lifting the curse.
That's exactly what we're working for. But an Atlas will turn away because he doesn't know what to say because he's never been able to ever talk to a woman.
And when you do that, she like puts a hand on your back because you're much taller than her. And she says, I understand. I don't want to leave you either. But I don't want to be trapped in this sword. You don't know what it's like. And you don't know what it's doing to you.
We'll give her a puzzled look and just kind of be silent, waiting, expecting her to continue on.
You're different than when you first picked me up. And I don't know if it's a sword or if it's the things you're doing to get stronger, but I don't know that that's fair, and this time I care.
All right.
And Edith says, I didn't come here for a show, though I'm quite pleased with the show I've been given. What do you say, Atlas?
So,
fulfill that sword, and I'll show you the way.
So I'll look over my shoulder. Is she still sitting or is she standing at this point?
No, she's standing behind
Does
you.
she look like she's in pain, or is she still like shivering because she's afraid, or?
I mean, no, she's stable, she's determined. I mean, if anything, she's angry with you. Like, like that defiant, almost like, if you would just listen to me look, That's what's on her face, and it's a stern look. And she says, "We have to do this. Kenra has to pay. And more than that, I don't want this to be my existence for forever, Atlas. I don't think that's too much to ask."
You're right. It's selfish of me to believe that maybe there's any hope for this. It's just, I don't want you to suffer.
And she kind of looks at the ground and she says, "I'm not saying that there's not hope. I'm just saying we can't give up. We have to break the curse. And if we find another way, great. But I don't want to sit in limbo while we're searching."
So what I'll do is I'll face the wolf.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say, we accept your conditions. And then at the same time, I will turn around, walk to her, and say, well, if I can't have you in this lifetime, then maybe I can have you in the next. And I'll give her a hug.
And Etis, as you two are hugging, says, "Excellent." And he kind of comes up behind you, and he takes one of his claws and runs it from the top of your shoulder blade down to the middle of your back. And your back is on fire as he tears this opening in you. But when he does this, it's this understanding has dawned on you. This taste of vengeance pours over you. And you suddenly get the realization that Kenra is not who you're hunting. You're hunting this figure that you would have never expected. And you can almost see it. But not all the way. It's a loose form. And it almost looks like a small creature. But you can feel the weight of its power. And as you see that tunnel vision kind of breaks, and you look up, or you look down at Ilaria, who's looking up at you and who's bawling silently, and you find yourself walking in the woods with the boys again, and your back is in so much pain, so you instinctively put your hand back there, but you can't feel it. There's no wound.
Boys, have I got a story for you?
Yeah?
And that's where we end the episode.
Yeah?
Yeah?
Yeah, alright. Because we're still on the walk
you
back.
three,
He's been really quiet
you
for
three
10
boys
minutes.
walking. You three boys walking through the woods with Avia, and you're heading back to the cave.
And so thank you so
That's
much.
the episode, boys.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much for listening. Thank you so much for joining us.
Appreciate you. If you missed out on the live show, or the listener party, man, did you miss out? It was a good one.
It was so good.
It was so funny, and we will be doing more and more. I have to say that pretty much any bonus content, like any guest episodes, any like listener episodes, those are all going to be listener party episodes going forward. They're so good.
If I wasn't there, I'd be jealous.
Yeah, I'd be super jealous if I wasn't there, but I was.
Yeah, so I don't have to be.
That's true, and that's why you should be on the Discord, so you can see the updates in real
Go to
time.
the episode description and you just click that Discord link, and it'll just be the super fire happens.
So
That's true.
For that, there's a man.
Oof, bruh. Other than that, check out our Instagram, our Twitter. We're always posting stuff. We're always trying to keep you guys in the loop of the things we're doing. There's a lot of cool art that people are like making for us, which is really awesome. We just posted a wind shirt, which
Sweet.
looks super good.
Yeah, I feel obligated.
I want to buy it so bad.
My merchandise.
Oh, my merch.
The pact is broken.
The contract
That's
is
true.
sealed.
Remember, that's one thing that I was telling you about?
It's
Buy every item.
You should have read the contract.
Yeah. No, but there's some good art in there. And, we have these really crazy talented artists constantly making cool art around our podcast, which is surprising and awesome all at the same
I
time.
expected it.
Yeah. I want an
We
entire
did
wall of
not.
it. I want an entire wall of it. I want to decoupage my house.
Yeah. I'm going to just claim a room in my house. Just walk into my son's room and just start putting up Lawful Stupid stuff. And just this is my Lawful Stupid room now. Sorry.
Papa!
Yeah. You know what? He would be into it. He's a good kid that
I
way.
want to do the entire apartment, so then when I move out, I'm just going to leave it.
Good luck, next person.
And then we'll get a
One
new
new
place.
fan.
Yeah, they're one new fan.
Or someone that's just like, why is this here?
That's how we build our listenership, is one apartment at a time.
One lease at a time.
Lease at a time.
Yep. It's a new it's guerrilla marketing at its finest.
Oh, man, I should start getting places that have 10 bedrooms. Ooh, get a frat house.
I don't think that helps. Still one owner.
Yeah, it'll try.
So I'm going to roll for
Yeah, just get a frat
humanity.
house.
I'm going to roll for humanity. But before I do that, I would just like to remind everybody, hey, subscribe. Hey, drop a review.
Please.
Oh, we actually have a review? Question mark?
It's from my sister. She says I'm cool. The end.
She did. It was it.
That's
very
fair.
Nice. Your sister is very nice.
She's sweet. Sabra, love you.
I mean, she definitely does
Love
not listen,
you.
but it's very nice that she does.
I may go listen on occasion. Anyway,
Yeah.
hey, that's $14 goes to Dot's RPG project. Pretty sure, not sure about release times. If not, it goes to the appropriate charity. But yeah, we'll talk about Dot's RPG project some more. Hey, Dot's RPG project, is there anybody in your life that maybe is disabled in a way? For example, I'm colorblind. For example, Alex is...
They don't have a term for it yet.
They don't have a
We're
term
looking
for it.
into it.
But Dot's RPG project, they come up with these amazing ways to bridge the gap between people that maybe have some disabilities and this thing that we all love to do so much, so that everybody gets an opportunity to experience this thing and how wonderful it is. And that's a worthy cause. So if you feel the need to give in your heart, Dot's RPG project is a great place to start. That rhymed.
It did rhyme. That was good.
Not intentional.
The $14 is going to go for that. And also, thank you so much. We love you very much.
Thank you guys for listening. Boys, let's play them out.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.